Welcome and hello. This is a CEDH Commander Deck Tech for an upcoming commander here, Eirdu, Carrier of Dawn, in the newest set yet to be released, Lorwyn Eclipsed. This is a two-sided card, so I'm making two videos for it. The other video is going to be a more casual Orzhov deck. This is a CEDH Orzhov Stax combo deck. So, what is Eirdu? Carrier of Dawn, 5 mana, 5/5, flying lifelink, gives your creature spells Convoke, and then at the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay black to flip it into another 5/5 flying lifelink that gives your creatures Persist, and then you can pay a white to flip it back. So this commander facilitates a sort of creature strategy, has a lot to do with creatures, front side and backside. We're really focusing on the backside. Giving your creatures persist is a unique ability in Magic. It is similar to Mycaeus, giving your creatures Undying, except minus one counters instead of +1/+1 counters, and Orzhov. So you get more colors, you have access to more cards, you get all of the great white Stax cards combined with all the great black tutor cards. So this deck is full of Stax creatures. Front side makes them easier to cast. Back side makes them hard to get rid of. So you are playing a whole bunch of them here, 11 Stax pieces, a whole bunch of these sort of protection pieces, and advantage pieces like Esper Sentinel, of course. So your plan is to play out a bunch of Stax cards, try to delay the game as much as possible, mess with your opponent's plans, and then once you get Isilu out, once you play Eirdu and flip it into Isilu, you are ready to combo off. So your combo is going to involve a sack outlet, a free sack outlet, which we have 8 here, and one of these infinites cards. A card that enters with a +1/+1 counter, or in some other way allows you to infinitely sack your creature. So let's go over the 8 of them here. They're kind of weird. Some of them are okay, some of them are pretty bad, but they combo with our commander, so we're playing them. Zach Fair enters with +1/+1 counter. You could sack him to give a creature indestructible. Way to protect. Isilu, Vizier of Remedies. Prevents the first -1 counter from a creature, so it allows you to sacrifice creatures infinitely with Persist because they never get that -1 counter, allowing you to sacrifice either the Vizier infinitely or any other creature. Triskelion, much like Mycaeus, this is a 2-card infinite combo with our commander. So if we drop Triskelion down, it answers with its +1/+1 counters, canceling out the Persist, allowing you to infinitely deal infinite damage to any target. The Duke, similar to Zach Fair, enters with a counter. You can remove a counter to give a creature hexproof. Mycaeus here gives our whole board Undying, so you can sacrifice other creatures you control infinitely because they enter with a -1/-1, or a +1/+1. You can switch off. Luminous Broodmoth, similar to Mycaeus, allows you to sort of choose either Persist or a flying counter. So if it's got a flying counter, you can have it persist. If it has a -1/-1 counter, you can have it sort of enter with a flying counter. So you can sacrifice your creatures infinitely. Butcher Ghoul here just has Undying, very cheap creature, easy to sacrifice infinitely. Also goes infinite with the Broodmoth. So if you have the Butcher Ghoul and the Broodmoth, you don't even need your commander. But my favorite card here, Geralf's Messenger, has Undying, similar to can sacrifice infinitely to Broodmoth, but when it enters, target opponent loses 2 life. So if you sacrifice Geralf's Messenger infinitely, you can kill all of your opponents. So you've got these infinite cards, you've got all these sack outlets, you're trying to play the best of the best. The best one you want to draw is a Blasting Station, because if you sacrifice infinitely, it doesn't matter which creature you get, kills all your opponents. You make infinite damage. Otherwise, you can scry infinitely, sort of set up the next card of your deck. pay life to get treasures, pay life to get cards, which is very quickly going to allow you to kill your opponents, or pay life, or not even pay life, infinitely mill, depending on which one of these you get. If it has any power, you can infinitely mill your opponents. So you have these sort of two categories, your A plus B plus C in your command zone. Got to make sure Isilu is still out. So you're going to want to tutor as much as you can, play in all the classic black tutors, Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Diabolic, Beseech the Mirror, Imperial Seal, just really trying to win with that. Set up your cards. You're going to want to get a lot of cards, so you need a tutor for them. And another great thing about these sack outlets, sort of in conjunction with your Stax pieces, we have these 11 Stax creatures. Most of them are only going to hurt our opponents, but some of them do indeed affect us, including like Thalia, Aethersworn Canonist. So Canonist sort of stops us from double spelling. But we have all these sack outlets, so we can play a spell, play one of our sack outlets, sacrifice the Canonist when we need to, try to win the game. And also we can get a little bit of value by sacrificing our Stax pieces, especially if we've got the persist. So we can sacrifice them for like treasures if we need to, sacrifice them for a ton of mana. So yeah, this commander sort of works well with both white and black. The main sort of vulnerability, though, is that you really are relying on your commander, and it costs a lot of mana. So we play as much mana ramp as we can, as much of this fast mana as we can. Your mana vaults, your Lotus Petals, all that. And then if Eirdu fails to do its thing, fails to flip, it's going to cost more mana, which is rough. We have a couple of outs here. Like I said, we have a couple other ways to combo off. But then after, if our opponents disrupt us, our plan is to just go back to Stax, try to prolong the game, allow us to give ourselves another shot at our combo. But yeah, if that's not working, fall back on card draw, Necropotence ad nauseum, or just getting the One Ring. We've got tons of tutors. Just look for the One Ring. If the game goes on long enough, we're going to draw so many more cards than our opponents. We're going to be able to beseech out the One Ring. Always a good thing to be doing. And we've got some pretty sweet interaction. Might want to run some more if possible, but we're sort of balancing Stax with interaction. Cards like Toxic Deluge, Meathook Massacre. If we're infinitely sacking, we win with this. Solitude with Persist is really sweet because we can drop it out with the Evoke. It dies, comes back with a Persist. Leonin Relic Warder, just a card to get rid of the ring, the One Ring if our opponent's playing it. We can drop this down. If we have a sack outlet, we can ensure that One Ring stays gone for good. And then if we have Persist, we can do it twice. We can get 2 players' rings if we want. Flare of Malice and Flare of Fortitude, both great in this deck because we've got a lot of creatures sitting around. Easy to sacrifice them to play these cards for free. Yeah, we're trying to protect our commander in any way we can. We've got some of these sort of little cheap creatures that can help protect it. We're playing Voice of Victory, Ranger Captain, Grand Abolisher, just to sort of, do that thing where we start to combo off, so we get everything ready, stop our opponents from stopping us. And yeah, I'm a little bit new to CEDH, so it feels weird playing 31 lands, but that's just how it goes. Let me know if there's like other combos that you can think of, because I'm really like trying to make this deck rely a little bit less on the commander if I can. Other ways to combo off. We've got all these tutors, so if we can just search for more like A plus B stuff, that's great. So let me know if you know anything about that, or if I'm missing some great Orzhov staples here. But Like I said, I've got that casual version of the deck. So if you're more into that, that is like a creature storm deck. So you're trying to make this huge board, a bunch of tokens, bunch of little creatures, no game changers, pretty cheap deck. So go give that a look if you're interested in that. But ultimately, this deck, the thing I like most about it is it's this $4,000 CEDH deck with all the great black and white staples. But ultimately, the best cards are Triskelion and Geralf's Messenger. And that just kind of warms my heart knowing that these two little, almost like pet cards, I love this guy. Knowing that these two are the best. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Peace. Thanks for watching.